Well, I've been doing it for a long time. I started on a series called Greatest Sports Legends, probably before you were born. And then I went to work for Major League Baseball Productions and was on the Baseball Bunch series. I was one of the creators of that. And then I was one of the founders of the production company of the United States Football League, the USFL, which played football in the spring and is actually shown here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. I was delighted to see a little display. Brought back great memories from those 3 years in the 80s. From there, I went off to Hollywood, and I started doing television series and movies and documentaries. And some of the things I'm proudest of, I guess, would include the movie Radio, the documentary on Hank Aaron called Chasing the Dream, which was nominated for an Oscar. We did a couple other football related films. Varsity Blues, I know, got a lot of attention, and series like One Tree Hill and Smallville and Arliss, and a lot more documentaries, and now we're doing a lot more digital programs, so we stay busy. We did a documentary called Who Killed the USFL, actually called Small Potatoes, Who Killed the USFL, and people out there may be able to guess who is the answer to the question. Of course, it's just a matter of opinion, but a certain team owner in the USFL, who's now a presidential candidate, had different ideas about what the league should be, and it had its demise, I think, prematurely after the 1985 season. But that was one of the early 30 for 30s, and I was fortunate enough to be able to tell that story, which was really more about glorifying the achievements of those guys. It was a special time. They were in existence for 3 years, and they got the 3 Heisman Trophy winners to sign with the USFL. So we were the official production company. We got to do the highlights and the game films and weekly shows and all. And we were all just kind of making it up as we went along. But it really was a celebration of pro football, and kind of made the statement that football, probably unlike any other sport in America, is popular enough to get an audience all year round. I think there's something universal about sports, and it's currency. It's a connector. It's a way for people to go to another city and connect with people there. If I get in a taxi cab in New York, I'm going to say, "Oh, how about that Porzingis, right, during the football season?" Or how about Odell Beckham during the football season? So it's a common language in terms of using sports as a backdrop for films. It provides a structure. It's kind of a narrative spine. You know what you're rooting for, who you're rooting for. It's easy to tell who the winners and losers are, who the good guys are, who the bad guys are. I mean, when you're watching Varsity Blues, you're rooting for the West Canaan Coyotes to the bitter end as if they were a real team. So I think there'll always be sports movies on the landscape. They've gotten a little more difficult in a world where the global box office has become a bigger share of box office receipts, and our American sports don't travel in movies as well. But they'll always be a big part of Americana, and hopefully we'll keep making them.